almost 20 years, Arben Gunga has worked for the German military as an interpreter in a camp in the city of Prizren. Now, as the German army's deployment comes to an end, he's about to lose his job. The camp is located in the very south of the small country of Kosovo, where the German armed forces were supporting the peace process following a bloody war. Now the so-called KFOR, a NATO-led international peacekeeping force, are packing their bags because the security situation is now considered stable. For Gunga, this means he has to find a new job in a poor country with high unemployment. Across the 40-hectare military site, everything is being unscrewed, packed up, and cleared out. Entire buildings will disappear, like this gas station house. This has been Arben Gunga's world for almost 2 decades. He's a translator and one of 200 civilian employees who have been working for the German Bundeswehr, our armed forces in Prizren, for years.
Ich fühle mich traurig, weil ich habe schon hier
I feel sad because I've had 18 years of positive experience with the German KFOR soldiers. But as we all know, that time is over now. And it's really sad for us civilian employees.
Many colleagues feel the same way.
Hey, hi, how are you? You exhausted?
Thanks, we're fine.
You have a lot of work?
Well, a little. There's a little work, but not much. It's no problem for young people. But I'm 55 years old. There are no real prospects for me anymore. I hope things turn out better for the younger ones, but for me it's already over.
For almost 20 years, the German armed forces sought to enforce security and stability in Prizren. At the height of its presence, several thousand soldiers were stationed here. Even today, there are still more than 300. They've stayed behind to break down camp. By the end of the year, they too will have left. Arben Gunga has been here since 1999. He was hired shortly after NATO soldiers entered Prizren because he spoke German so well. He translated articles from the Kosovan and Serbian media for the commander and interpreted wherever necessary. He led 5 German defense ministers through his hometown of Prizren.
These are some pictures I have of visits by high-ranking generals and statesmen. For example, here when Defense Minister de Maizière visited Prizren. There was Mayor Ramadan Muya. As you can see, I'm translating the whole conversation for the 2 men.
His homeland, Kosovo, is still a divided country. Albanians live among Albanians, the Serbian minority in small enclaves. Gunga doesn't think much of these distinctions. Today, his Serbian friend Ivan pays a visit. There hasn't been a war for a long time, but these meetings are not taken for granted.
Hey, how you doing? You all right?
Yes, I'm fine, and you?
Alive and well?
Yes, thank God.
Come on, let's go inside.
So this is what we made?
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it's very nice, but I don't know if they're going to like it.
It's for the troops?
Yeah, for the troops, so they have a souvenir.
In their workshop, Ivan and his brother Negovan make wooden souvenirs. Ivan also produces glass bottles with individually designed motifs. Later, it'll be filled with homemade liqueur.
Well, I heard that someone here in Velika Hoca produced good liquor and wine, as well as these bottles with coats of arms. So that's how we met. After that, we came here once a week. We placed orders and picked up more bottles and more wooden coats of arms.
K4 is Ivan's most important client. He sold about 500 liqueur bottles per year to customers from the camp, plus numerous wooden coats of arms. There was almost always a demand for souvenirs and gifts. Now Arben and Ivan share the same fate. With the German armed forces withdrawing, they're about to lose their biggest client. They'll have to reorient their sales. Where will he find the money for his family? Ivan doesn't know yet.
The orders gave us security. If we didn't have anything else, then this at least keeps us busy. But what are we to do now? We want to stay in contact with the people who are here with K4 and send our products to them. To send them to Germany or Austria and Switzerland.
Cherry brandy from Kosovo. One bottle is for Arben. Compared to Kosovo's villages, Prizren is a vibrant metropolis with some 200,000 inhabitants. After NATO intervened 20 years ago, the city of Prizren has developed considerably. As everywhere in Kosovo, unemployment is high. But Prizren is the most visited city in the country. Tourism is an important source of income here. Nevertheless, poverty is very evident. Every month when social benefits and pensions are paid out, queues form in front of the banks. But the most important thing is that everything is peaceful. Nobody wants another war like the one 20 years ago. The Kosovars want a future in Europe. Kosovo may be small, but it's also international. Nearly every family has at least one relative who works abroad, many of them in Germany.
Almost everyone you meet speaks good English or German. Many try to improve their education to be able to become independent. Some want to gain a foothold abroad with a scholarship. I've got to say, Prizren and Kosovo have developed positively since 1999, since the last conflict.
At home with the Gungas. As a family, Arben and his wife Emel have made it through well so far. She's a dentist, her daughter recently graduated from university, and granddaughter Tana brings them lots of joy. They lead a normal life. That's in part thanks to the German armed forces. Arben always liked German and learned it even before the war. He worked in Germany. But even when he came back, he kept on learning German. I criticized him for that and told him, that's enough. You'll never live in Germany, and you don't need it here. But then one day, the Germans arrived, and suddenly his skills were in demand. Now Arben is unsure how he's to make a living for his family.
It's hard to find a job at my age. I'm 56 years old. It's really hard for me to find a job here. Even for the young people, it's difficult, but more so for me.
A meeting with the commander of the German K4 contingent, Christian Kiesel.
Good morning, Lieutenant Colonel.
Good morning, Mr. Gunga. I'm glad you're here. Please have a seat. So the time will come next week on Wednesday when I can hand off the troops and then fly home again next Friday. And I wanted to take this opportunity to speak with you personally and to thank you very much for the work you have done. For all of us, of course, but especially for me.
Thank you very much. I think the city and the inhabitants of Prizren will remember the German KFOR for many years to come. Their entire mission, the entire German mission, was successful here.
Well, that's right. And we've noticed that the people here are very grateful and have great respect for what KFOR has done here, especially the Germans. It's very nice for us to not only know, but to feel this gratitude. And I believe that everyone now understands that we have accomplished our mission here. And I think Prizren has developed well, and that's why we can leave now.
80 German Bundeswehr soldiers will remain in Kosovo, in the capital, Pristina. Here at the barracks in Prizren, Germany wants to build a training and innovation center, complete with a vocational school, to give young people here some prospects. They're still only plans. But when it begins, Arben will definitely apply.
I see my future here in Prizren, and I have high hopes for the Innovation Center. I think I can get a job here to support the Innovation Center in all sorts of different areas, whether linguistically or with the experience I gathered over 19 years of working for the German Armed Forces.
It won't be easy for Arben Gunga, but he's determined to seize the opportunity.